What is up, Gooners? But in all seriousness, I'll get right into the list. And if you want, will also post my Fort Worth regional list if you want to look at it, even though it wasn't a great list. But if you want me to ever go into my thought process for it, I'll be more than happy to. But yeah, I won't waste any more time. You play your one Dormouse and one White Rabbit. I got the rarity upgrade there because they got a good deal, and it was something to kind of remember the trip for the Fort Worth. But the two best 1-ups in your deck. Play 3 copies of Chessy Cat and 3 copies of March Hare. Your standard Malice. You're just gonna max on the names so you can actually play the game. And then 3 backup with the 1 Wizard to fill out just extra names and get your ability to play the game. I went back to playing 1 Baldrake, 1 Druis, and 1 Magma. These cards are broken. I'm actually really tempted to maybe even play more just because of how good they can be in certain specific situations. If you can keep Rolad off of Mind Shuffle while they have to hard commit stuff, you can force them to disrupt their hand. And there have been times where a well-timed Spark or this can actually just ruin their hand because now they must resolve as much as possible. And that's really the mindset for that. I'm playing 3 Ash, 3 Perelia. So in the Fort Worth, I didn't play any of the Charmies in the main. My line of thinking was there was a topping list that got top 8 recently as of making this that didn't play any Charmies in the main. But my thing is I agree with the philosophy. However, the problem is you need to just stop your opponent from playing because every other deck in the room is just better. Let's be honest, they're just better. They have more consistency, they have more this and that. We have our tricks, that's why we're able to get away with what we can do. But I also wanted to play Perelia in the main deck, but I just didn't. And I wanted to because I think it's actually better right now in this format. Because Elf Note, you have Rolad, it cannot play around it. There's a lot of decks that need to do hand effects. It's good into Blitz. Yeah, I think Perelia is better. That's my opinion. I'm still playing Fua in the side, but I wanted to settle with that. And of course, 1 Dimension Shifter. One of the matches I had was just 1 straight up because of Shifter, because the card is... I need to just get the buy one, because it's just funny. I'm playing 2 copies of Imperm. You can bump this up to 3, but I cut 1 down so I could play 3 Spark. I have a very love-hate for this card. This card can either be really good or really mediocre. There is no in-between. This card... It can struggle to feel like it properly resolves sometimes. And if I had real space, I'd also be playing Ghost Ogre because I do agree that it's one of the best hand traps in the format right now. And of course, 3 of the God card, Dominus Impulse for the rest of the hand traps in the main. And of course, you play 2 Field with Terraforming. And then you play 2 Lore. I played 2. Stuck with that also with Fort Worth. I played 1 Signet Mining because technically, even though it's a -1, I don't see it that way. Because if you add up March and the Bystials, actually being able to put cards in the grave can be really good to get extension and also just search. I have actually yet to really use this card, and it's a very easy side out, but I like the idea of the card quite a bit. I play 1 Gold Sark and 1 Mouse in the Mirror and 1 Callby because you just need to play God cards that can just protect you from the Charmies or absolutely just stop Griffo and stuff. So, and then you play the 2 traps, TB11 and MTP07. I'm really glad I got a higher rarity of this card since last time. For the extra, nothing really too spectacular. I got 1 Link Karibo, 1 Link Disciple, and 1 Salamangreat Almirage. There's just no point in playing Link Spider right now, just because Nib is just... It's kind of real for some of Rolad because they can bounce the Nib back, but otherwise it's not there. It's not quite popular because it's not great against other decks. One of the broken card. I still can't believe in my first video I thought this card was mid. This card is broken. Dark. I re-put Dark back in. I took it out because I didn't think it was great. And of course, I thought to myself, okay, well, they have Black Chaos in the grave. Well, unfortunately, Black Chaos has to be summoned with its own conditions, so that feels kind of eh. It is what it is. Dark doesn't feel the best a lot. It does help in the invoked matchup because Kaliga is the card that can skip your turn, and the best card to out it is Dark. But the problem is, and the problem I have really more or less with this card, just kind of going in general, is extending with this card doesn't feel the best. It can feel great in the mirror, but the deck has a little bit more restrictions than some people think because almost all your Link 3s are not generic. They must require Cybers and stuff. And usually, like, if you do Heat, it's just, it has to have 2 Cybers, or if you want to go into a Malice, you must use a Malice monster, so it's not like it's just free. You actually, like, yeah, I mean, it's another body. It's great for, like, the bigger monsters, but, yeah, that's pretty much it for Dark. Haggard, you're still going to play this. I need to get a higher rarity for this. It just does not work. 1 IP, so the idea of going back to IP is, 1, it can layer your board more. It's there was actually a situation where I had Double March, Spark, Impulse Spark as my opening hand, and you would just loop normal March, go into literally anything, in this case Link Disciple, use March to special, banish the March, March gets added back to hand, go into IP, set the 2, you now have March for your next turn to banish that March to summon, so you can go into a Link 3. And if you want to have, like, Cryptor, you can sorry, not Cryptor, but you can go into SP, or you can go, speaking of, you can go in there, or you can go into, like, Decode, whatever. But your card is protected, and you get more interaction, and it cycles itself. So that came up, but unfortunately my opponent had Lightning Storm, and it didn't matter. But, yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to, like, flex out some of the other cards, try stuff out, because I feel like that is the best way to learn in this game is if you're not willing to take chances with your deck, then you're going to be stagnant. You never know what works and what won't work. It is what it is. And then for the Link 3s, one of this, I do like this card, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it can feel very mediocre because, yes, drawing in a non-engine is great, but the fact that it doesn't really do that much else is it. But, you know, you get to flush your hand with Pot of Greed, and that's pretty nice. I also got a higher rarity upgrade for Heart's Cryptor because, yeah, it's a great card. And I'm so used to not being able to go full combo and just go Heart's Cryptor pass. I'm like, it may as well just be the boss monster of the deck at this point. And then, of course, 1 Red Ransom to finish out your Link 3s. Again, I just can't wait for the new Cyber stuff because I think it's really going to make this deck a little bit more interesting in terms of just, like, what you can do. And, of course, I'm more excited for the Ritual, but that's just me. And, of course, the 2 Malice cards are broken. Access Code Talker and 1 Firewall Dragon. And, yeah, you know, pretty obvious. I'm still not playing Xena. I'm still not playing Quartet because I don't like the lines. I think they'll win more, and this deck can just do far more interesting things in my opinion. Then, and I do believe Xena might get banned, even if it's not right away. I just don't see that card sticking around too long because any card that can Foolish is just really good. And then finally, 1 Allied Code Talker, and I actually played the Top Logic Blaster because Rico Carlo played it in some of his earlier lists when it came out. And my mindset was, you have free spots, and in the Fort Worth, I was playing Fallen of the Virtuous, so I had 2 flex spots to pick. I wanted to put this in because I figured this could be decent into Roland, and there is a world where this actually just wins you the game. Unfortunately, Black Chaos is just a towers, and because we don't have White Binder in the game to get rid of the back graveyard, and you can actually get this effect to go off pretty much like 3 times, because you can go March Hare, Banish Red Ransom, Summon, Mandatory, and then Chain 2. You can use all 3 effects and just plus, because then Red Ransom is also going to special and banish, and you could just do so many cool things with that. It really is. But I wanted to try it out for just the sake of it. But yeah, if we had White Binder and we could out the Light and Darkness, this actually could just cook it, because this shuffles. This doesn't destroy, banish, or anything. It just shuffles. And because your deck has ways to like negate and target, not great, but still do. You can resolve this and do a lot, and just putting resources back into the deck is phenomenal. I wish the third effect came up a little bit more. Again, I just wanted to try something different, but don't worry, this is not in the deck, but I just wanted to show because White Binder is missed. And then for the side, of course, I've been playing my Hound Field Setter because I miss K9. 2 copies of Droll and 2 copies of Bell. So, I still really want to play Ogre, but Bell's good too. Bell can hit a lot of cards, and I actually got into a debate with a friend of mine when it came to the Fort Worth list about playing Bell, because it can stop the ritual, and keeping them off the ritual can be great. It can stop them from being able to grab stuff back, and it can, hurt the skull in the grave. It's great against Mitsurugi. It can hit Cool Tune. It can hit. There's so many good cards that it can hit, and you want to keep your versatility. And I'm just gonna do it. I also played 2 copies of Fuwalos. I still wanted to play Fua to some capacity, because it's too good to not play. But I wanted to play Perilia because I just generally do think it's better in most circumstances. Especially at least this format right now. I do think it's correct. Fua is still probably safer, but you might lose round 1 because a lot of decks don't have to summon from their extra or from the deck, frankly. So, I also want to really play Droll in the main, but there's reasons not to. And the main reason for me is Spark. I did go back this week when I got 2nd and 3rd playing the Bystial engine. I went back to playing this. I have so much fun playing this. It's so simple. It's such a simple game plan. But Regained really does fix a lot of issues with the deck. Being able to put back your White Rabbit or your Dormouse or whatever, because you do burn through your names quite quickly. It allows you to play the deck like... There are lines where when White Rabbit was at 2, you can actually just emulate that again. Draw 1, simplify, put bodies on the board. Resolving Magma twice pretty much just guarantees that you win the game. The Bystial Hate for the Grave also matters a big deal because there's a lot of cards that you can hit. They're not the best cards, but there's a lot of good disruption cards that you could currently play. Obviously DD Crow can answer a lot of other stuff, but I wanted to just play something I just really enjoy playing. I really do enjoy playing this whole package. I wanted to play a 3rd, but I just couldn't do it. But yeah, I did it for fun. I really just enjoy it. Even if it plays harder than the Droll, I don't care. Just getting those Bystial bodies back on the board matters, and for one other reason. For Breakers, I played 3 evenly, because I believe it is the best Breaker in the game right now. Simply because it's one of the only ones that can deal with Rorlad consistently and actually hurt them. And if it resolves, it feels great. And for the final traps, I played 2 Solemn Accusation and 1 Dragon's Mind. I really kind of want to bump it up. Find some way, because this pairs so well, because you use the Bystials, that's kind of why that matters, and also Heartscriptor, which is 25 as well, means this card is live, and it can reset itself, it can be discard. I really like Dragon's Mind as a card, so I'm thinking to myself, I don't really want to play a 3rd Accusation, but I would like to play an Omni that doesn't, cost me half my life points for a deck that I'm paying a pretty good chunk amount, but I'm willing to pay that with Solemn because Solemn Accusation can stop, like, just end-all be-all cards right now. And, yeah, that was pretty much it for the side. I like my list a lot more fine-tuned after the fact. There was a lot of things that I wish I would have done differently and brought, but you live and you learn. I didn't do great at Fort Worth, but you can't win everything. But I did have a good weekend with Maliss, just still kicking with it, still playing, totally converted by this point to just being a gooner, as they would say, for the deck. But I really just do like playing the deck. I really do find it fun. I'm very excited for the support to come out. Between us, I'm most excited for the Ritual, because I think that changes implication for consistency, and then the Link 5, and then the Link 2. But I think they're all good stuff for the deck. And yeah, until the next video, thank you for watching.